Yes, sir. A special from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. In your boy, in the South Bend. Charges on the people. To get your information. To be part Smooth, I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to just for you and know. The children crying for starvation, just to just for. You want to get a news content, don't just for. You want to know what is happening, don't just for. Politicians want to make their decision, just to just for. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, don't just for. Yeah, just for. Yeah, just for. You from Funjama, just for. Yeah, just for. Every Indian, graduate, my brother, just for. You got a small TV, you got a small radio, just for. Yeah, just for. You want to get a nose up there, just for. Rastafari, Kribaba, 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 Kribaba. What I want? Yes, everybody. School TV. Yes, everybody. School TV. School TV. School entertainment. Yes, yes, sir. Special from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, right in the South Bend. Charges on the people. Get your information.
Okay. Good evening to you. From Liberia, good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning to my people that are watching the diaspora. This is how I like to welcome you to another edition of the program Spoon Talk. And as I usually say, this is your best, your favorite
You want
nighttime show in the nation's capital, Monrovia.
you want to know what is happening more than just politician want
Once again, I'm your producer for tonight, Rosemary McKeever.
you want to know what happening in the ministry don't just
I'm going to be joined by Diamond Slanger. I'm going to be starting up soft, then hardcore as the night progresses. But before we go to our What's on Your Mind segment, we are live on Spoon 107.5. We're live on Fabric 101.1. We're also live on Voice of Liberia 104.1 FM. Live on Spoon TV on Facebook, Spoon TV on YouTube. We're also live on Super TV on Facebook and Fabric TV on Facebook as well. Happenings in the country today. We go to our talking points for our What's on Your Mind segment. Liberia, through the Office of the President, welcomed 4 newly accredited ambassadors from Cote d'Ivoire, Venezuela, Indonesia, and Slovakia. The executive mansion highlighting ongoing efforts to strengthen bilateral relations. And despite rumors of the release of Peter Bonojala, the NSA officer that is accused of allegedly sodomizing a 15-year-old boy.
What is happening more than just politician want to make their decision just
He was sent to the Monrovia Central Prison. He remains in detention whilst awaiting trial. Operations at Phoebe Hospital in Swakoko, Bon County was very much disrupted yesterday after aggrieved employees, mainly nurses, and people that are working in the hospital, they are complaining a lack of equipment. They are rejecting emergency patients. They have a scheduled protest on Monday. Those are the happenings in and around Monrovia. Let's welcome the people that are watching on live. Let's welcome G. Harrison Dyla Yala. He is following from Ellen Estate Marshall Road, Marquis County. We have Willett B. Morris watching from Austin, Texas. Emmanuel Dolu watching from Totota, Bon County. Ross Draper watching from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, USA. We have Manjo Gafwan, who's watching from Philadelphia, USA. Vafley Kelvin watching from USA, Fargo. All right, so today we are going to be talking on something. Today we are going to definitely be talking. Today we have 2 talking points. Diamond is going to be joining us for those, 2 talking points. The first being the issues with the diaspora Liberians who are seeking a right to vote. The diaspora Liberians who want to vote during the elections. And we're asking, why not? Why not allow them to vote during the election? These people are contributing heavily to our economy, contributing heavily to the growth of our economy. why not allow them to vote? So that's something we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be talking about that today. These people in the diaspora, they contribute to our investment, they contribute to advocacy, they contribute to a lot of things, going on in Liberia or happening in the country. They contribute to a lot. They contribute to even our revenue, sending money back to Liberia, building houses, yes, contributing to the development, infrastructure development, to the economic development of the country. Why shouldn't they be allowed to vote during elections? I mean, it's tend to be corrected, but I think other countries are doing that. During elections, you can go to your country's embassy that is in the country that you are based in, and you can vote during elections. Why not Liberians that are in the diaspora? Why are they not allowed to vote during the election? Why are they not allowed to vote? They want the opportunity, to vote during elections. So, what's on your mind segment? Apart from what's on your mind, you can also make your contribution. Do you think Liberians in the diaspora should be allowed to vote during elections? What do you think about that? Looking at how they are contributing to our economy through their finances, contributing investments in the country, contributing to our yearly revenue. Why not give them the opportunity to vote? So that's it right here. That's the topic that we are going to be handling, aside from what's on your mind. So we're about to open the phone line. You can put in your call to 0555-551-075, 0777-101075. So you can start putting in your call 0555-101-075, 0777-1075. Let's take our first call. Good evening, your name. Okay, we lost that caller. Keep your calls coming in. Let's hear you. Do you think the Liberians in the diaspora should be given the opportunity to vote? Let's take this caller. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
How are you?
Good evening, your name and where are you calling from? Okay, let's hear you.
Yes, concerning those in the diaspora to vote, it's a very welcoming idea. But what are the government will really take into consideration? That would be a brilliant one, because those in the diaspora, they are really helping us there a lot.
Okay.
And then secondly, what on my mind? Concerning about this sender name issue, government came out and said that they own this land. And government is sitting again. All of us are coming to take the land again to sell. So I don't really know what this government is saying. The Honorable Brother John Collins and Sis Viola, they were in the vineyard to advocate to those people that their house was broken down. So if all this land have been turned over to the rightful owner, because my brother is a victim, then we can go back and claim our land. Or if it is for the government, let the government please come out and let us know about it. Because we still see people going to that same area selling land. Let the government please come to us and be clear about that. Thanks so very much for having me on the line.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution. So that's it right there. Let's go to our orange line. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from? Yes, good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Waigode from my Bento resident.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, people, our brothers in the diaspora, our sisters in the diaspora have the right to vote and they should be allowed to vote. But the government of the United States clearly telling them that they should think about their country, because Liberia is all they have. So that indicates to them that Liberia should be their first priority. than America, because some of our brothers over there feel that everything there, that country belongs to them, so they abandon Liberia. So that's clearly telling that Liberia is not for them, Liberia for them. So let it think home, let it come and make a decision in Liberia too. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let's take this caller. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening.
Yes, your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is William Hines, and I'm phoning from Cardwell, New Jersey, Norfolk.
All right, let's hear you. What's on your mind?
Firstly, I want to ask Lorena, you asked a question, but I want to make it rhetorical.
This is Rosemary, not Lorena.
Okay. Are you talking about the election being conducted within America for our diaspora to vote?
No, my dear.
Diaspora will be coming here to vote.
So in other countries, what they do is they allow their citizens to go to the embassy in that country to vote during elections.
Exactly. That's my point. So now, it will be a very bad thing for Liberians to vote at the embassy in America.
Okay.
If they want to vote, they can come here during registration time, get registered, and be allowed to vote.
Okay.
Because they are playing major role when it comes to development in our country. So if they know the importance of their rights and importance of development in our country, they won't take anything for them to travel back home to come and do their registration and then vote. Okay, so what's on my mind is the issue about the new minister of the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the president of Colina. I really want to appreciate our steadfastness. To be honest, this is the young thought. These are things we want to see in our ministers. Come to the table with an independent mind. Don't come with partisan mind. I'm a unity partisan, but I like the way she engaged, or she has started engaging things. Call all his own decks, because the responsibility and the job of a youth and sport minister is not an easy thing. So I really want to keep that courage. You shouldn't be deterred. You shouldn't be carried away by you say, I say, they say. She must work according to the mandate of the Liberian youth. It is not an easy job. If she take the job seriously and she put her time to it, she will be remembered in history. So now we'll work with every sector.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's go to this caller. Good evening. Your name and where are you calling from?
Rose, good evening.
Yes, your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you. So good Fofana. I'm calling from Baguio Faji.
All right, let's hear you.
Member of Unity Party Intellectual Bureau.
All right.
Rose, why on my mind today? We get opposition comedian that are passing around here. CDC. I don't know. Magate to one people more draw attention to it. But first of all, let me tell my go even in Bakai. Now, the former have been electrified today. Don't commit the rule. You can't in Nigeria on Broad Street. So the Beguba Avenue, the men that pay the rule. The barrel mercy was a problem to the barrel, but these are opposite. But I want to talk something about Maggie statement. Right?
Please be fast. We have to take all the callers.
Maggie, you're not the first person in the CDC. If I can remember, the former chairman in person of mobile medicine about the will resign. Abu Kamal made a statement. So you have that you can move Maggie, maybe your Nina on the media, you want your name okay. I have been they go man, let just do the right thing.
Okay,
so
thank you very much.
What will be facing, our campaign will be easy. The zero where you go campaign on.
Good evening, Anime. Where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Emmanuel Sano China, 2 German district, 2 around the Chicane Freeway.
All right, let's hear you.
On the road. Yeah, for me, I accused 40 in America, any part of the world, the diaspora Liberian, against the people. If you are going to the embassy to for that country who is working in line with the president, how credible would it be for the party to be giving and the election commission the total vote on our side? So I'll be against it. If you love your country like Liberia, you come down and vote, and if anyone who wins, they win. But if you go into that embassy, they don't be credible because the ambassador their way. according to the way impression of the president. So that ambassador will do things that will favor the sitting president against the 100%.
Okay, all right. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Let's go to the next caller on our orange line. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, good evening, madam. How are you there in studio?
I'm fine, thank you. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Gongpaklo Ashwa Boson, and I'm calling you again from a 540 resident.
All right, let's hear you.
My concern has to do with two things as usual.
Let's hear you.
On the show, well, the prices of commodities in the market. While it is true we appreciate the rate dropping, but the rate dropping is not translating into benefit in the sense that if you went somewhere to buy something and then they tell you that this particular thing is being sold for $1,000, if you gave $5 US to buy that particular thing, they will ask you to add $200 there, taking it by 200 rates. And even now, the purchasing rate for USD, if you carry like 1,000, you want $5, they will give you 190. They who sell it. So it is not in any way benefiting the citizens, especially with the dropping of the rate. So that's the first thing. Now, the second concern that I have here has to do with the harassment of the police people towards taxi drivers and motorcyclists. They will not have any sign to indicate that don't stop here. But whenever taxi driver parks there, the police people, you just see them come from anywhere. City police, I know those guys, PCC people. They will impound that car or motorbike and give you ticket. Unlawfully. It's not right for us. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your point made. Good evening, Anima. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Emmett Hammer, according to Clark City, under the good weather.
All right, let's hear you.
What is on my mind that had to do with my senator, Nathan Mange? Let me appreciate it for the level of what he continued to do, representing my giving and liberating totality. But let me say, contain the act of the statement that he made. By 2029, if the only President Bouaga win, you will resign. Remember, Honorable Musa Bede said that I see war. I said, Honorable Kwame no win. He win, he will resign, and he didn't win. And all now, Musa Bede have not resigned, and he said he joined the immunity. So the statement that Honorable Musa, Nathan Mange said there with my giving, we cannot lose it, we are putting our ACA. If the only 2029, when God spare our life, the President Bouaga retained the position of president. And I know you will retain that position as president. When you Article 17 of our Constitution to make sure that Honorable Mange should live by a statement that you say you resign, you're going to resign on that day. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go to our comment section before going back to the phone lines. J. Edwin M. Saki Jr. He says, I'm following live specifically from my noble home, Dubut Road, Monrovia, Liberia. I have two concerns. One has to do with students dancing in school while administrators and staff are laughing. Improper dress code is automatically wrong. I urge the Ministry of Education to intervene. All right, Edwin, thank you very much for your comment. Thank you very much for your comment. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good evening. Your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, sister. I'm Jerome Kutola from Kingston.
All right, let's hear you.
No, thank you for the program. No, sometimes when people need lost in the media, they want to throw out something so they can be, it can be, people can talk about them. That is a statement that former Minister of State who was sanctioned by the United States government just issued. The sad reality of Labrador is that, when the CDC was being booted out, people in Manjibi were electing Minister for a name. He was being elected. That is frustrating that in him. Because, look, the same thing happened in 2011. Mr. Oyene Gray said they were not going to accept the result in 2011. While he was talking now, nothing, he was getting prepared. He was carrying his kosu to the how they call it shop for the inauguration in 2011. That is the same thing Mr. Mange is saying. Mange will not resign. When the CDC lose the election in 2029, he will not resign. You know that. Because even Mobile Monu did the same thing with Mr. Oyene. Senator they don't today say if the senator they don't win, he will resign. He did not resign. So that loose talking is always attributed to the CDC. They always talk loosely, and they know they want to about what they say.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you very much for your contribution. Let's go to our Lone Star line. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from? You're coming in distorted. Your line is so bad, I urge that you can change your location and call back. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from? Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, your name and where are you calling from?
Mary, that is Brother G. Lahasi, where they calling from PJAB Tomorrow.
All right, let's hear your view.
Yeah, my view is what is really on my mind. We all in position, out of position, where I have complained that the bread and butter of this country now that we need is employment, job. And I think the government is trying to create some jobs. So I want all the opposition, bridges will roll while you're building you. Let it create jobs for the youth. And that's the bread and butter we need. Some of us who are employed, we need to work. So I'm calling on all the opposition, even the imposition of the government. Let it create jobs. Let it bring a bread and butter that will have a little black plastic paper coming home to our various home. That is really on my mind. Let us lead the politics and create jobs for one another. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to that caller. Let's take another caller from our orange line. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Alvin Chair. I'm something in Diamond Creek.
All right, let's hear you.
Yeah. First of all, let me say thank you very much for your tireless effort. May the Almighty God bless you. Straight to the issue. You see, my sister, when you look at our solar light that have been placed to Dole community, it is the vision of Ruth Ogo Collins, the former power minister. It is a vision. It is a vision. The former power minister is going back. She started it with Boulevard Junction to 72nd. She started it with Police Academy Road. She started it with Margaret Spencer Road. You got me, my sister?
I'm getting you.
So it is just continuation. The past power minister of vision, she said that she was going to make sure all feeder roads that have quota will be electrified with solar light. Everything was there, the document was in the office. Before the co-power minister, he went, he met it there. We saw those things during the former presidency. We saw it. And again, my sister, lastly, when we comparing CDC and the other parties from 2005, when we comparing them, the other party have more edge than CDC because the other party, when you come the total year, Manasari 12 years, and Dala July, you know, Baga 2 years. 12 plus 2 is what? 14 years. The other party have been given 14 years. Their year making 15 years. Still our country, we still catching out, we still catching difficulties. And CDC have been given 6 years. So when you look at the two parties that really should have transformed like but now after the war, it's going to be the party because they are more years in power than the CDC.
All right. Thank you very much for your point. Thank you very much. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from? All right, let's go to our Lone Star line. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, good evening. Oh, this is Ben Johnson.
All right, let's hear you.
Oh, President Howard.
Please be audible.
Yeah, on the current administration, several times has significantly improved with many people now able to read the Southeast in just a day. In my opinion, sometimes I wonder the strategy they put in place because they passed government. And what did they? Well, yeah, suffering to get to the Southeast. Now I always told people that it's a need that we the Southeast don't put together to appreciate President Bouaga for what he is doing. Because we to be all in a month, my sister, from here to go to the Southeast, I'm paying 19,000, 24,000, all in a month, all in a foreign. I can say believe that role we can make one day on it to be friends. I say believe friend. Because just imagine, even the person when you're going, everybody feel they wasn't able to enter. Someone in Arago, they imagine entering Arago that small thing, they have people continue to answer why we don't our resources that we not able to. That's more how you do your country, taking other countries, passing Arago, you can learn this got to be in a country. So on the regime to be friendly, people are where they are doing well. So the only thing I will say, maybe the only thing people get problem now because we don't know why they think when I say, oh, and team president everything about the president no job. Now all the president because the who are that job now they living team president is coming to job now. So one thing I can say I'm looking to the president and let you see the best try better see how can create job or opportunity that
all right.
Where we can see to be friends.
Okay, thank you very much.
But just sit down because it's not about we don't want to see anybody going and kind of bring in our ear.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's all the time that we have. Let's now join a Diamond there on the line. Diamond, good evening.
A pleasant night to you, Rosemary. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mew. How yourself?
Yeah, good morning, all. Good morning, all. Yeah. But thank you for the show. Listening to Liberians sharing their views, their opinions.
Yeah.
Love to say pleasant night to everybody listening to us across Liberia and those of you watching us from all around the world. I apologize for the quality of my voice, but let's have a show. We're definitely going to have a short program today because we have to shut down early to allow for works to be done tomorrow. So what do you have on your plate, Rosemary, for us to talk about as the rest of the guys will join us? Saturdays we usually take a lay back kind of position. But what's on the agenda for the discussion?
So we literally just have two things: the issues about the diaspora Liberians wanting to be included in the voting process. That's the first one, and then the second one, this issue about pedestrians being charged $5 if they do not use the crosswalk. So
nice.
Yeah, so those are the two things that I have on my plate. I don't know what you have.
Yeah, first I'd love to start off again by saying deepest condolences to the former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Chief Dr. Joa Howard Taylor. Yeah, she laid her son to rest today. They're in Carisburg. But again, a lot of talk about the absentees from the funeral service. The president was absent, the vice president absent, the speaker absent. The pro tem was present. The president was represented by a senior advisor who represented both the president, the vice president. The speaker was also represented by a proxy. And I see a lot of chatter on social media, talking about those absent from the funeral. But I wouldn't want to delve into that too much. It's a sensitive issue for Madam Taylor. It's going to take away from her loss and her pain. And by the end of the day, politics will always be discussed in whatever situation that occurs.
Watched video on the internet where people had issues with a certain part of the program that was being termed political, where we had, I think when the former president, made his tribute, we had some chantings in the hall, and then people got angry that the funeral service was taking another trend.
Yeah, I also have seen a lot of posts on social media from some, Liberians commenting on the issue, alluding to the fact that because the former president, His Excellency George Manuel Biya, was present at the funeral, so the current administration, decided to stay away in terms of the president and the vice president. Others said, look, because the program would have taken a political turn, as we did see tributes being paid and political chants. By the end of the day, the former vice president served in political positions, from being senator to vice president of the Republic of Liberia. She comes from a political party, the NPP, by affiliation that had a coalition with the CDC. So you would expect that in these events, political parties that she belonged to will come up and pay their tribute, and they will not pay their tribute as Susu Club members. If they were Susu Club members, they will wear the Susu Club lapa. So that cannot be divulged from what would have happened today. But whatever the reasons are for the president's, no show, and the vice president no show, We'll be trying to get in contact with their respective offices to know what's the official reason for they not being present. But those who have the right to their opinions are saying a whole lot of other things, from it being an opportunity where you to ask, this would have been an opportunity, to see the former president and the current president and the current vice president, in the same space. Funerals are opportunities to reunite, family members who haven't seen each other for a long time. They come around and do this event
for a long time.
Yes, it presented a good opportunity for we the media. Though I would have loved to have seen a picture of the current president, hugging or shaking hands with the former president at the funeral. But whatever the case is, as I said, we'll be trying to get official reasons for the president and vice president being absent today. They did pay courtesy calls on the former vice president at her home. Just the earlier days when she lost her son, the president was there.
Yes.
The vice president also visited, but the talk is while wearing the present at the funeral service today.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, what amongst the two, what can we, start up with? What do you make up the diaspora Liberians wanting to be a part of the voting process come 2029?
Do I see it being possible 2029? The answer straight up would be no. I don't see it being possible for 2029. Remember, we got approximately 3 years to go to 2029. By 2028, systems for elections should be put in place. So we have under 2 years. Do we have the requisite method yet? No. All they've presented so far is a petition. I haven't seen the how. And I've been having backroom conversations with those involved in this petitioning, the various diaspora groups. And my question is, how? How do they intend? What's their proposal in making this happen?
This work.
Yes. And if we are allowing diaspora Liberians to vote, let's assume, then why are you limiting diaspora Liberians from what offices they can hold as well? So if you are going to say 100% once a Liberian, always a Liberian, then why is there a limitation on the once a Liberian, always a Liberian? So there are a lot of murky things to be sorted out, Rosemary. But is it possible for 2029? I will tell you no. Are there African countries that do it? Yes. Senegal, for example, would have a diaspora voting process. They even have diaspora MPs where the people from the diaspora vote their own MPs to represent their interests. Mali does the same. South Africa does the same. Kenya does the same, but the Kenyan model is limited. It's only for the Kenyan diaspora in Eastern Africa, in their neighboring countries like Uganda and Tanzania. They allow them to vote. So the question now is how? How do we do it? If the answer would be yes, then how do we do it? So I don't see it being possible for 2029. It's just a petition.
Don't you think this was supposed to be put in place ever since? Because these people contribute immensely to the growth and development of the country. So don't you think this was supposed to be done ever since that Liberians out of the country are able to vote?
So before you start looking out, you have to firstly look in. Have we been able to secure our elections to a larger extent? There's always accusations of malpractices and fraud and voter trucking and all of these things. And what qualifies someone in the diaspora to vote? Have we been able to secure who gets our passports? What qualifies to show that this person is either a natural born Liberian that has immigrated abroad, whether you show a valid Liberian passport, whether you register. We have approximately 31 to 32 foreign missions around the world. Around the entire world, we have about 31 to 32 foreign missions. Are there going to be Liberians that will be left out? There are a lot of questions to be asked. What qualifies someone to be a Liberian in the diaspora? Would you have to register at your embassy or consulate? Do you have to pay direct or indirect direct taxes to Liberia to qualify you? or are you looking at what remittances you sent to Liberia as indirect contributions and the rest? So there are still a lot of questions, Rosemary, to be answered, a lot of T's to be crossed and a lot of I's to be dotted. There are those who are against this. They're saying that, look, it's going to open an avenue for cheating. It's going to open an avenue for decisions to be made that will affect Liberians, and those making the decisions will not be in the country to experience that. So we posted the poll on yesterday, and a lot of people voted, and a lot of reasons. But at the end of the day, this is still at the embryonic stage. It's just still a petition. But petitions do come with technical know-how. How do we do it? If we want to say yes, how do we go about doing it? If we say no, when can we do it again? So it is still a question that is still in the early stages and still at yes and no, but we haven't gone to work out the technical details as to how, if we were to agree to make diaspora Liberians vote, then the question will be, if I can vote, why am I not qualified to also lead? That's why I stop on this issue, Rosemary.
Okay, Diamond. Thank you very much. I'm very sure we do not want an instance where we have less diaspora Liberians, but more votes coming from America. To go down in the Guinness World Record, as for example, we have 26,000 Liberians, but we have 40,000 votes coming from America. We do not want that.
Yeah. So as I said, Rosemary, it's a long shot. There are countries that are doing this, African countries, but they're still faced with logistical issues. Imagine South Africa, that is even more advanced technologically than Liberia. They still have logistical issues in making sure that diaspora votes, are counted. People come and vote. People in the diaspora vote. But again, you can look at best models and give it a Liberian characteristic, to better suit what we want to do. But we still haven't yet reached that area to start talking about how it should be done. It's still just a petition. And if you were to ask, do diaspora Liberians contribute to Liberia? Yes.
Yes.
They contribute a whole lot. One argument is they even contribute more than the national budget in terms of the remittances, in terms of direct and indirect investment. So there are a lot of contributions coming from the diaspora, and that making them to be part of our national development effort. To tell you that the diaspora is even more is very important is the fact that we've had for the first time a diaspora conference where the president invited the Liberian diaspora. He had a big farewell ceremony for them and all of that. Yes. So that shows you how important the Liberian diaspora is. The diaspora Liberians contribute to political parties' efforts in so many ways. I remember 2023, we sat on this very platform, and diaspora Liberians were contributing immensely to parties of their choice, not only on this platform, but on other platforms as well. If you look at diaspora Liberians, they're involved in our politics anyhow, because we have global chairs for political parties, we have America chair, we have Australian chairs, we have European chairs, we have chairs in other African countries, and branches of these political parties themselves. So they're already involved in our political, daily activities. So crossing now from participating as a political party and voting as an individual is where we stuck at. For now, if you're in the diaspora and you want to vote, meaning you have to come to Liberia, register, yes, then come back again during election time to vote. So meaning if you want to vote, you spend not less than 4,000 United States dollars on ticket back and forth, depending on the price, accommodation, and all of these things to cast a single vote. So that's what it is now, and I hope we can have a larger conversation with these people. I'm talking to them to bring them on the show. They probably will be telling us how that is possible if it's agreed upon. And we also have diverse views from Liberians who feel like, well, the diaspora shouldn't be involved in voting as of now. Rosemary.
I think that is law for country. Just spending as little as 4,000. That's the sacrifices we make for the love of Liberia. All right, so on to the next topic, the issue about this fining. If you do not use the crosswalk, the issue about the fine. If you do not use the crosswalk to cross, that thing has mixed. It has mixed emotions in Liberia. Some people are for, some people are against. What say you? Because I feel like I don't know, personally, I feel like that shouldn't be. Because even
what shouldn't be?
Being fine if you don't use the crosswalk to cross.
Why? Go ahead, make a point.
Why are you fining me for not using the crosswalk to cross? Drivers do not even respect the crosswalk. Like, you can be using that crosswalk and you were crossing and drivers will not even stop for you. So we firstly need to put more education on the crosswalk before we come up with the fines. At least if you are, educating people on, the majority of the people, there are a lot of people in Monrovia that do not know anything about road education. A lot of people don't even know how to cross roads in this town. People don't even know which side of the road to walk in this town. So I think we need more education on these things before we place a fine on them. That's my point of view.
What do you have in front of you? What are you talking through?
I'm talking to you.
No, what are you talking through?
I'm talking through a microphone.
That's the powerful tool you have in front of you, Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And using the crosswalk is a part of public safety rules. It's part of our vehicle and traffic laws. And for too long, we as a country, we've been putting our laws on the back burners. And if you look at Liberia, the level of indiscipline keeps increasing every day.
That's
because we fail to implement or enforce our laws on the book. So, we always come up with this excuse that, people are not cognizant of the law, so we can't start enforcing the law and all of these things. And the more you take a longer time to enforce the law, the more indiscipline breeds amongst the people. And then the wrong thing starts to feel right. So what I mean by we can walk and chew gum at the same time is, I agree with you where there is a lot of education that is needed, but we can be finding people as we're educating them.
Okay.
There are a lot of things to be done to implement public safety in the country. The first thing is the law shouldn't be a trap, because once the law grabs you and you say I'm not aware, that is not an excuse. It might give you a lenient punishment, but it doesn't excuse you for breaking the law. So whereas the police and other authorities are enforcing crosswalk, for people to start using the pedestrian crossing or the zebra crossing, if you want to call it that way, I also feel there should be a lot done to make sure the law is not a trap. What do I mean? One, almost all of the crosswalks along the Tottenham Boulevard have faded away or they've erased.
Right.
They should be repainted. You understand? They should be visible with luminous paint. You understand that even at night, the slightest light from a vehicle can illuminate the crosswalk. The country is dark. Let's be honest. There are solar panel lights all around, but even at night, visibility is poor. So we need to repaint even the road signs. Yes, you should put pedestrian crossing signs so drivers can be aware. We should paint the crosswalks so people can see them visibly, whether pedestrian or motorists. We should also look at areas that do not have crosswalks. There are a lot of areas that do not have crosswalks along the Tottenham Boulevard, that should be having crosswalks. Also, there should be police officers deployed at these various crosswalks and other places to usher people to cross, because unlike other developed countries, we do not have pedestrian crossing lights where you go and press the button and the light will turn red and yours get green and you cross. No, we do not have those. Why am I saying this? The way people cross roads in Liberia, Rosemary, is alarming and it's scary. You are a driver,
Yes.
And enforcing this pedestrian crossing is a way of reducing, collisions with pedestrians, those who just cross the road anyhow. You know, some people just cross the road at points that drivers are not expecting them to cross. And it leads to accidents. So this, in a way, too, is going to reduce that. But the authorities, in my view, should make it a working solution. Pin the crosswalks, put crosswalks to where crosswalks aren't painted, have officers to guide people when they're crossing, do this for a while, and start finding those who will not follow the crosswalk and enforce this to the letter. It shouldn't be the same 1 week, 2 weeks kind of enforcement that we have in Liberia. Once the police officer is not around, everybody goes back to start hunting. Yes. So if you want to enforce this and effect a change, then you have to be serious about it. And sadly, since that pronouncement was made, there has been no seriousness by the police authorities. I've driven all across the Tottenham Boulevard. We spoke about that as well. I even said it to you that we should do a live video to showcase that this was announced and it's not working. The second thing that was announced, is the usage of sirens by unauthorized vehicles. That is still happening.
It's still happening.
So our words as leaders then become a seed that falls on barren ground, because when we say things and we don't enforce these things, even though they're good to be enforced, we become talkatives. We just talk and no action, and people get emboldened to keep breaking these laws. That's my point on that, Rosemary.
I think this is why the citizens do not take these things seriously, because when these laws are being passed or people do not want to enforce it, they do not enforce it. And then even when they try to enforce it, people can just go undercover and just pay a small thing so that they can pass, they can, break the rules. They pay a small thing to break the rules. So these laws, people are not taking it seriously because it's not being enforced properly. It's not put, because you can see people with private plates passing around with red and blue lights, just disturbing the country for no reason. You are not a government official. You are not licensed to carry around the sirens, but then you have it, and then the police just ignore these things. The police just ignore these things in the country with sirens.
And I agree with you, Rosemary. It is so frustrating, the proliferation of the users of sirens in the country. It's a security threat, because if anybody can just walk into a garage or an auto spare parts store and buy a siren without any proper documentation to whether or not they're allowed to have that emergency light on their vehicle. Our vehicle and traffic laws, the revised vehicle and traffic laws of Liberia, is strict on who's to carry flashing lights, red, white, and blue lights, flashing lights. Emergency vehicles, of course we know that. But right now, anybody working in the politician's office or an elected official's office can put a siren on their car.
Yeah.
You can put a horn on their car like and do burr, burr. Anybody can do that.
Well, even the bike boys, they all got out those horns now.
Keke riders have it now. And that's the level of indiscipline that is ongoing. Taxi drivers have it now. Anybody can have it. And in a country where we're still grappling with the effectiveness in full swing of our law enforcement, it makes it scary that anybody can reach at a checkpoint and just do and they will open the gate and allow that person to pass. So meaning you can transport any contraband, travel all across the country with impunity, and nobody is going to stop you.
There are certain places that the police don't even stop.
They don't stop them.
Sonic signs, they don't stop those plates.
Rosemary, and what is happening now is, once I can get a flashing light on my vehicle, I don't even need a license plate.
Oh no, you don't. As soon as they see that light, they allow you to pass through.
And somebody from the police once said to me, we're having a conversation, and the person said, do you know who are the most compliant people in the country? I said, no. Vehicle and traffic wise? I said, no. He said that commercial vehicle drivers are the most compliant.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean? He says they will register their car, they will insure their cars, they'll make sure they get their driver's license. Majority of them, only a smaller portion wouldn't do that. But as compared to public officials, they are the most non-compliant people in the country.
Yes.
Those who are supposed to be the examples, for good reasons, are not. Even the president of the Republic of Liberia vehicle carries a license plate. it carries the presidential standard on the front and the back. That tells you that every vehicle must have a license plate.
Yeah.
With the exception for which now I see these days, the military now have their own license plate. The AFL now put the license plate on their cars. But first, it will just be the marking, you know, AFL, whatever on it, and it will be allowed to pass. But even now, the military getting license plates for their vehicles. What our elected officials and appointed officials will do, they will take one plate, put it on one car, take the other one, and put it on the other car. Breaking the law. Some of them will even take their official plates and give it to their spouses and their children who are not officials of government to use. Another thing that they do is they get to even cover their plates,
right,
with some kind of black thing in it. Then when they're going on their clandestine and they're going on their OPS, they can cover the plate. Your plate must be visible at all times.
Yeah.
So in a country, Rosemary, where we have those who are supposed to be the example setters for good reasons and not, then you see the non-compliance trickling down to even the common man.
The lawmakers are the lawbreakers.
Then the police find it difficult in enforcing, because if you go stop one lawmaker, he starts to yell at you. Have a lot of examples on videos, you know. Somebody will call you from up and say, hello, my man, yeah, I mean, that man, I'm interested, you know, that man, I see him, let the man go. So if I'm standing there as a common man, if you let the senior man go, I mean, the common man, you can exercise the law on.
Right.
That's why we have the high level of indiscipline in our country, Rosemary.
And it keeps happening. It's not just with another plate again that they do not harass. It's a Masonic plate. Like a car can have that Masonic plate, that G in that thing. Police people will never stop that car. I don't know if doing the on the police academy they can tell you, say the particular plate, when you see it, you should let it go. A car will have only that Masonic plate and not have the official plate of the country, and the police people will never stop that car. So I don't know what's happening in Liberia, but we really have a long way to go when it comes to enforcing these things, because I don't know when Masonic plate became an official plate in Liberia that we can now identify as an official plate.
Because when it happens like that, somebody will pick up the phone
and call the higher
up, somebody in a higher up position. That person will call the officer that is on the ground enforcing and say, leave that person and let that person go. So now it is become a norm. And if we go back to this pedestrian thing, Rosemary, we have to do a lot in enforcing road safety in our country. We have to enforce that in our country. Because if we don't do this, we'll have a lot of accidents, we'll have a lot of collisions, we'll have a lot of crashes, and people will keep losing their lives. So if you were to ask me, I would tell you, I am again for the fining. Fines are meant to deter people from doing something. But in as much as I'm for the fines, I'm also for the education. Where our people should be educated. Most of us in Liberia are not drivers who went to driving school.
Right.
If you were to do a survey of how many of us driving vehicles today actually went to driving school and know the road signs and know what the rules of the roads are, we will only have a minute portion. So that is why we need continuous education. We need continuous education in our road safety.
And the signs.
Yeah, the road signs. I saw the Ministry of Transport trying to do some with their lavish big screens. You know, is it effective? Well, they will have to come up with the data and let us know if it's effective.
A lot of people don't watch those things.
Yes, but I think, you know, we should continuously use the radio. That's what I ask you, what tool do you have in front of you? The microphone. You know, these ministries and agencies should work with the media to have road safety signboards, road safety campaigns, and the rest, and keep educating our people while they're also enforcing these laws. Because if we want to be a country of laws, we have to enforce our laws, no matter how much we feel ineffective. We have to make them effective. That's my take on those topics. We're having a short program. If you have any other thing for us to discuss, we can discuss that, or we can better still, bring people in to have their say, to call in on the show as well.
Yeah, so before we bring people in, another issues that have been, I have been taking notice on in Liberia is the issue of noise pollution in the country. I know that I think the police or there was a decree about noise pollution where you're going to be fined if you're caught disturbing through the loudspeakers, through the roadside boys that can play the loud music. You having a party, in a community and playing loud music. It only happened for that small period of time, and now we're still back again to the very beginning. We still have loudspeakers in the country. We still have the boys on the roadside playing loud music. We still have churches disturbing people's peace in the name of praying. I mean, I am a Christian. I am a hardcore Christian, a pastor child. But it's in no way excusing churches from disturbing the peace of another person. Just, I think it was last on Thursday night, I came from an event and I just drove around 10 o'clock. I just drove along the boulevard way going to Gold Police Academy. Diamond, there are over 5 to 6 entertainment centers right at Boulevard Junction. All of those entertainment centers are playing different songs at a very, very high volume. And it's very congested. They're all together. The other entertainment center playing Liberian song, the other one playing Amapiano, the other one playing Nigerian song, and it was just so loud. And there's a police checkpoint right there. The music was so loud. Like, I'm like, how do these people understand themselves?
So you know people to enjoy themselves.
Now I enjoy me. They step other people. So then, how is this noise pollution thing being enforced? When you got about 5, 6 different entertainment centers clustered up together, all playing different music, all at a very high volume. Because my entertainment center want my people to listen to my music, so I'm going to increase the volume to 100. The other person want the music to be very loud because they don't want the other customers to hear the other person's music, and it was just so loud. Churches will be having programs from Sunday to Sunday. And distant church is not about the way how church used to be. Now church is business. So every little corner you will find 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 churches there. Everybody won't pray. Everybody worship. Everybody beating on a drum. Now churches don't know how to have prayer or worship on a very moderate tone. Everybody blasting in tongues at a very loud. It's crazy, Diamond. The noise pollution in the country, it's not being curtailed. It's really crazy. The people need to start finding these entertainment centers again. They need to start finding these loudspeakers. So money that can somebody that in your ear, earn money, Lone Star money, recharge your phone, like so money, or why you supposed to still be sleeping? Somebody is disturbing you. It's so crazy. Welcome. Let's add Mr. Jeru here. Welcome, Mr. Jeru.
So Mr. Jeru is a veteran journalist. I want him to take a pass on this one. I say the thing that when the African show read to come on the quality at on any.
Two of the finest people in Liberia. I'll just enjoy you guys. I was not going to even come on. Or when Rose Marie talked about the church thing, and I myself being guilty, about that. When we used to be
as a former prayer warrior,
I tell you, Damo, I'm so guilty. When I came to the States, I realized that we were so wrong.
Yes.
We used to have a band that we were doing crusade, 10 o'clock in the night, people trying to get their sleep. We are playing loud music, we praying, everybody get microphone, we yelling. And even where we worship we put the speaker outside. And people and we just disturb people. But I tell you, if you raise that issue in Moravia, they'll say you sit on Fletcher.
Demon. Like the only way to be a hardcore Christian is except you are shouting on the microphone praying.
I remember an incident. I think the minister at the time was Minister Weeks. I think at that time she was the head of public works, if I'm not wrong. And it happened in the Makati area, and she took a church, to the city police and subsequently to the authorities because they were quote unquote disturbing public peace. Yes. Right. And people had a lot to say about that minister, as Mr. Jeru said. That people said, oh, that demon, that witchcraft, like this, that, let it walk, God, and all these kind of things, So I just thought to bring in
it's like a competition, Damo. When you are in a group, I used to be in a deliverance group. We used to be we have an evangelism group, we have a deliverance group. So I was in both of them, the evangelism group. I was the case profiler, the secretary, the deliverance group. I do profiling, talk to people, know their background. Then we put that into the process. But those of us who, for me, to be honest, the yelling part of it, I don't like yelling because my throat, I got very low. Small esophagus. Even when I'm eating, I gotta be careful. I have to get water by me, otherwise I choke very easily. So I don't like too much yelling. But people yell out of the necessity that they want to be the one heard. They're speaking in tongue. I don't believe in some of the tongue they put speaking, to be honest. I've told one of my men before, that thing is speaking that tongue. Stop. They put not like that thing. And they don't like that. And if you ask all my guys there, we call our say gospel ranger, you ask them, I'm very screwed with that. I don't like people saying all kind of things and call it tongue. When I came to the States, where the people worship, before you worship, in fact, there's a Liberian girl who club they just closed 2 years ago and were involved trying to resuscitate the West Fargo people. Believe that her music was seeping out of the club. So there's some girlfriend that lived behind her club, and the old lady called police. And here, when you call police 2-3 times, they want to shut everything down. In fact, when somebody called police 2-3 times in my apartment, they come to tell everybody to leave. So they warned her 2-3 times, and they said she's disturbing public peace, and they canceled her license and took her from the club. We tried to resuscitate that, no way. And so people make laws. They call it public ordinance laws. I don't know. We have those kind of laws there, and even if we have it, which city mayor going to implement that or say you sit on white child? They may against God. Now what are they going to think? What are they going to think? So I think we need to start with the different one first before we get to the church. Then they post on regulating the other people who are not God people.
The entertainment centers.
The entertainment centers.
I don't know what the city corporation is doing. You cannot have 4, 5, 6 entertainment centers just cluster up together playing different songs at the same time.
Yes, you're right.
So the first thing I want to add in about that, Mr. Gibson, sorry for intruding. Where I was zoning laws, because if you have zoning laws, you have where should be an area known as a club district or area that entertainment centers can be located. Usually you put them in places that will have some sort of noise to complement either in the city centers or somewhere that would not disturb the residential people. I don't know if we have effective as such. And even religious centers as well. If you are having a church, for example, where I stay, there is a fledgling church just right next to me. And that church is in an apartment that people are meant to stay. So every morning, 5 o'clock, whether you like it or not, you must wake up.
Wow.
Whether you like it or not, you must wake up. You understand? And that's how it is. So we have city corporations, there are laws and all of these things, and that's a way of us making money. You talk about revoking a person's license, Mr. Jerry. Before you open a club in an advanced country, you have to pass fire codes, you have to pass your noise code, your environmental code. They have to come in and check how many persons can be able to dance in that place and say, okay, we'll give you a permit for 100 persons or 50 persons, and they will check up on you regularly to make sure you're following all of those codes. But we don't have that.
No,
somebody will just get their money and just look for a spot, look for a shop, and open an entertainment center, get a 5,000 watts or 6,000 watts speaker to put it outside, and that's that. You know, so will it be easier to regulate with the kind of stop and go thing that we have in Liberia? I will tell you for sure, no, unless we are serious about that. The moment you try to implement these things, Rosemary, the next thing that will be done is the politics is going to play. Mr. Jerry and the rest of the guys will start to play politics with it. That, okay, government is not providing job for people, but government now, the late job the people get for themselves, government trying to shut them down. You know, we had an opportunity to have regulated these things. And you know when was that opportunity? When we were coming out of COVID-19. We had an opportunity to have said, okay, since the whole country was on lockdown and people got used to the fact that clubs were not playing music no more and this and that, going forward, these are the conditions you have to meet to open a club. This is how loud your music should be and all of this. But we missed out on that, in my opinion. We missed out on that because we're already used to a different culture coming out of COVID. So that would have regulated. If you want to open a club, how many clubs do we have in Liberia? I can count 2 proper clubs. I'll say entertainment center, Rosemary.
Right. We
that you go into, and you are not hear no sound when you outside, but when you enter,
you hear
the sound.
Yeah,
we don't have 3 or 4 in Liberia. I mean, real proper club, Mr. Jerry.
So far, the only country that
you know what I'm talking about.
The only club in this country that has sound is Ocean Drive Club. That's the only club that has soundproof. He has an underground club that when you're outside, you're even standing to the door, you cannot hear the noise. But when I don't know if it's still like that because since it has opened, I only been there once when they were opening, but then now I've not been there, so I don't know if it's still the same because maintenance issue in Liberia when it comes to these things. But his club, once it's on the ground, you can be out right at the door. You cannot hear the noise. You have to enter first before you hear the noise. That's the only place I know that has soundproofing club in Liberia.
Wow, I'm grown up, but I never see that club yet, and I think I need to try when I come to Monrovia in April. Maybe
he's not grown. Former friend warrior.
You know, but my kind of club, I think I'm guilty as well. Like I said, I'm already my kind of club. I used to go to Rendezvous a lot because I like to see people dancing. I like, looking at people dancing. I don't want to go to a club where everybody's sitting there psychedelic. I like to see people dancing. If it's possible for me to give them money, for them to keep dancing for the whole night, just give them money to keep dancing. And so, but to be honest, I think you guys raise a very great point. Like you live in a place where the church have to wake everybody out 5 a.m. Some people don't sleep until 4. So by the time you go to bed 1 hour later, the church is waking you up. And for us here, I mean, I don't usually want to compare America with places because here you don't put club in the residential area. They don't even allow that. They got residential zone and they got commercial zone. So your club has to be in the business or commercial, and the commercial zone too. You got to know what kind of place you carry your, because if they have ordinary businesses in that area where you carry club there, they don't want that because of your club, people can burglarize other places, they can steal. So they want to make sure that where you put your club is a place that is destined for clubs. And when you go in that area, you make sure you soundproof your. In fact, they get a soundproofing thing. It's very easy. You soundproof your entire place. But once the noise starts seeping out, or when you open your door and the sound seep out, then the police come in after you. We look, it's hard to implement things in Liberia.
Very
Anything
hard.
you say, Liberian man, they got something else to say about it. Anything you say. But that entertainment center they're talking about, and truly, it will be politicized. By the time the government start clamping down on them and say, hey, you got to put your noise down, all the while we'll close this place and say, well, we elected the people for us to eat. They want us to eat. And other people can get money to send our children to school. And I will be on spoon talk to eviscerate the government. The government is heartless. They cannot allow people to. They cannot even allow them to make ends meet. And yeah, politics will enter. But look, this is a serious matter, and I think the city hall need to set rules and they need to educate the people. Tell them that look, from this time, that's what they do here. They give you an announcement like you want to check your driver license. Like so that they have what the name again? Well, it's a random DUR check. So they go on the radio and make an announcement, say from this time to this time we are going to be doing DUR check. So they announce it anytime they can stop your car in the streets. In our area, it's a Republican area, it's a conservative area. We are not in the Democrat area that they don't care. Democrat area people that so Yama can be there. We are the good people in the media. So no, I mean, if you come, I tell people when you come to America, join the Republican Party because that's the most decent party in America. The Democrat.
You're American politics. Let localize our thing. Yeah, you're talking about wanting right to vote. Then you're talking about being a partisan of another party in another country. So how you come into that? And you should also speak on the issue of the petition by diaspora Liberian groups. That they want the right to vote as well in Liberia. Whether or not you see that feasible. First thing, is this something that should be done? Yes or no? And after that, you can give us your reasons so that we can open the phone
yes, I can
for Liberians to call in. So, what's your take on diaspora Liberians petitioning to have the right to vote in Liberia?
I think it's a good thing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Guinea, Senegal,
Mali,
Cameroon, a few other countries are doing it already.
Mali too does it. Mali does.
Thank you very much. Yeah. They are doing it already. It has to be organized. Otherwise, it's going to be messy. If it is organized properly, there will be no cheating. You mail in your ballot or to your embassy. The embassy pull these ballots and count them with representatives of people or parties or whatever it is, and count these ballots honestly and sincerely, and transmit the votes. So that would give diaspora Liberians some sense of belonging, some sense of participation in the electoral process, choosing our political leaders. As it is now, we have no stake. We have no stake in the decision-making process in Liberia. We can make all the noise we want. Until you go to Liberia, you cannot participate. You cannot choose your leader. So even though we have influence, because I can call my picking and I say, call all the people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you vote, you're gonna take the picture and send it to me. If you don't do it, if I see different voting, like the other time during the election, I told someone picking it, when you vote, you share to me. When I see Joseph Boakai near it, you will never get any help from me again.
Is that not inducing somebody to vote? Is that not also pressuring somebody against their will, Mr. Jerry? Are you openly confessing to arm twisting and inducing people to vote?
Right away from people.
But if I tell you, are you going to vote for Joshua? You say yes. Is it okay? They can't tell me no. I say, are you voting for Joshua or you voting for Boakai? They say, oh no, we for Joshua because they know I'm for Joshua. No, we voted for Joshua. Okay. If you're going to vote for Joshua, when you fill your ballot, take a picture and send it to me.
Wow.
If I see Joseph Boakai mark, okay, you hungry, say you dying, you call me, I'll say, my man, I get money.
Wow. Wow.
So I was able to do it to maybe like 20 people, not many, just 20 people. So all these people, you take your ballot picture, you send it to me. But here, I agree with you, Diamond. Look, the diaspora Liberians, we need to organize ourselves and do it in a more responsible way and provide, suggestions as to how it can be honorably handled. Not just asking for it, but we should help the government to provide the idea of how it can be done. And then the government can take that in and look at it, take it to cabinet ministry, cabinet meeting, look at it, look at all the remedy, which ministry, because not all the places like Liberia get embassy. Like the whole of Southeast Asia, I only one embassy in Japan. All the other countries are there, everybody go to Japan. They don't have any Malaysia, all the places, no embassy. Oh, they only one embassy.
There's one in Beijing too.
Yeah, China, China we get embassy in China. But from there on, Japan, the rest of the places, everybody go to Japan there. All the guys are being Japan.
But
so
do you think
everywhere we got embassy.
Do that?
I'm sorry?
Do you think we have the integrity and the honesty to do that? Do you think
that's what I said? We gotta really look at integrity, Rose. This is a serious question you just raised. Like bro, man, like cheating. You're not looking, you cheat. You're looking, you try to black your eyeball even to cheat. And that's something. I mean, look, I there's so many things people tell me about Liberians. I got really good deference for Liberians. I know there are some Liberians who got really good intention, and I quit to trust people. That's my weakness there. I quit to trust people. So I trust Liberians, but they can look at you big, and you finger in your eye, and they don't care. So when I send my ballot, is it going to be possible for it to be counted rightly?
Because when we look at all the channels that those papers will be passing through before you get to Liberia, you gotta pass through the airport.
But do we have to do balloting, mail ballot? If you have embassies in these places, can't you do in-person voting that it can be done through an electronic means? For example, you're doing it in an advanced country again, and the technology is there, but this is still at the early stages. Because even at home, we still haven't dealt away from the paper and the ballot box method. Somebody will say, well, it's in person, so the person can stand and vote. But with the diaspora issue now, the question is how. That's what I'm saying, and Mr. Jerry Rosemary, all of us are saying, it's not about presenting a petition to say, give me the right to vote. When you asking somebody to give you the right to vote, you should be telling them how it should also be done. How you want it to be done. You have to suggest that makes the petition to be a good one to look at. All I have seen so far from this document is just a petition. But if there's to be a hearing on that petition, the petitioners will be asked the question too: how? What's your suggestion? What's the method? What's the mode? What methodology are you looking at to do? Do we have the money for that now? I don't see it being possible 2029, 2035. I don't know what the political climate is going to be like in Liberia 2035, but for 2029, I don't see that being possible. That the diaspora will be allowed to vote, or that will even pass the stage of committee hearing. But
first of all, here is a problem that we have with the Liberian government. The reason why they are hesitant to let Liberians vote from the diaspora, especially those of us in America and in Europe, they think that most Liberians or many Liberians in America are U.S. citizens. So why should they vote in our election? Why should they make decisions in our election? Now that we have dual citizenship, which is not even working, you got dual citizenship, you take your passport when you go in. They're asking you why you don't have visa, or why you're a U.S. citizen, why you don't have visa, why you come with a Liberian passport. They're not even honoring that. But do Liberians who are already U.S. citizens, can they still be allowed to vote? And if yes, then the government, the sitting government is now concerned. Are we not going to, we got thousands of like Granadians alone. Granadians are almost 23,000 in America here. If Granadians, 23,000 Granadians decide today they want to vote for George Weah, Trust me, the whole of 23,000 will vote for George Weah in America, or will vote for Joseph Boakai, or they split it in the middle. We got the Nimbayans. If my calculation is correct, we have about 16 or 17,000 Nimbayans in America. The Lutherans are less, all the other tribes are less. So if these elections are taking place, then the government, sitting government, begin to think, say, what? 25,000.
But Mr. Jerry, let me ask you a question. Is it that the Grenadines in America, because now you're making it look like Grenadian vote is automatically a CDC vote?
No, it's not. It's not automatic. But it's
that's how you made it to seem. We also are of this mindset that Liberians who travel abroad have a different understanding of politics and political decisions more than Liberians who are home, because they are also, experiencing a different kind of political system. Their level of reasoning when it comes to politics takes a different turn. So is that going to, I'm asking this question because I want you to speak to whether or not that is going to affect that decision-making process as compared to those who are back home who feel tribally they belong to a certain political establishment, as compared to somebody who has seen something else and believes in work more than tribal affiliation. That's my question to you, Mr. Jerry.
I must tell you right now, I'm in the Grenada community. I'm very deep in the Grenada community. The supporters of Joseph Boakai, they may not even reach 20 in the Grenada community. I can tell you right now, in America here, they are not even, I don't know if we can count 20, then we'll lock it. The perception of Grenadines about any election right now, I'm very deep in the Grenada community. Maybe I have to be wrong. Maybe we'll have more than 20. But I can tell you, even some of them are not even free to discuss that they are supporting Joseph Boakai and more Grenadines. That's how bad it is. Because I talk to them, I'm in the talk shows, I'm in the executive meeting, in Grenada meetings, we discuss this thing. Very few people that support Joseph Boakai. But if you think that Grenadines or Liberians here, they are politically washed, then the people in Liberia, you're joking. There are people here, you are smarter than them, you think better than them. They are worse. They think as if they just came from the village. And I'll tell you something. I like to say my thing correctly. The Grenadines, there are several Grenadines that came to America that never saw the city. They went to Ivory Coast, from Ivory Coast straight to America. They don't know why it is. They don't know the political setting. They don't know anything. And even when you're telling them, they're talking different things. So they are not as smart as people think they are. There are some people who are following politics that actually let themselves into the political realm. They listen to people, they talk about it, they debate the issues. Those people, you can say yes. I mean, they can make sound decisions, and they will not, support someone based on political cleavages. I can tell you another thing. I can tell you, I know two people right now that support Joseph Boakai just because they want position. They are my friend. They are Nigerians. My man. Joe out there, we ain't get Joe. Go to the public get Joe. We also will chopping. I'm telling you, I'm saying it as I'm telling you. Hey, you made me very generous. I caught two and then he.
Call one name, don't call two, call one.
You know, that's not when I mean, bro.
That's your bad boy. You want me
but if the issue is going to be the fear, according to you, the fear of any sitting government in Liberia that, look, if we open it up to diaspora Liberians to vote, it might be opening a new voter base that might topple us or make us to win an election. Then we wouldn't have Liberians voting at all if that's the case in the diaspora, because everybody's got their party that they belong to, and if you're doing the right thing, people will vote for you based on what your policies are. Don't you think so, Mr. Jerry? Should we be denying people from having their participation because we fear losing an election?
No, they shouldn't, because Grenadines are Liberians, Nimbayans are Liberians, Lutherans are Liberians, Bassos are Liberians. So yes, we should be able to give people the opportunity to participate in the political process. My problem is how we handle this is more important, it's more germane than just asking for it. I think we should have a more coordinated process where those of us who are in the diaspora, we should first of all formulate an idea and say, we want you to give us a chance to participate in the election. Here is what we can do. We can help with. We can help to set up a website that is monitored and controlled by the political system, which is the NEC, maybe National Election Commission, that will be able to pull all Liberian votes. You just go in there and put your vote, and those of us here who don't have access to it, NEC has access to it. NEC can go in there and take the tally and attribute the tally to the people who they are voting for. Or we do mail-in ballots, which is done here in the US here. You can be a military man all the way in Korea, you can do your mail-in ballot. You can be a US citizen in Liberia, you go right to the embassy, get your ballot, fill it, go to them, they will mail it. You will participate in the election process. We can do the mail-in ballots. We mail our ballot to the Liberian embassy. There are 2 embassies in America. The main one is in Washington, D.C. We have an outpost in New York. The outpost that were in Minnesota, they broke it down and they removed it. So now it's only 2 we have now. So we can mail it in there, and then they take the ballots, tally them, which is very tricky, which is very, very concerning, tally them and send the result to NEC. Or NEC can have a representative at the Liberian embassy that will be responsible to tally all of these ballots. We should be able to submit something that the government will get them meat to chew on, give them something they can chew. But just say, give a chance to vote. And then the how becomes problematic. And then when the government suggests, oh, you want us to send our ballot to you so I can manipulate the ballot. No, we can submit a suggestion, 2, 3, 4 suggestions, how we think it's possible for us to do it. And I think that I can join that conversation. For me, voting from here or voting in Liberia, it doesn't mean anything because I will still make my picking there to make sure when they're voting, they must take their ballot picture and send it to me. So it doesn't matter. Somebody they say, I know anything I say, just criticize me. They say it's bad, it's wrong. Somebody will vote. I'm picking it. I say, when you finish voting, send me your ballot picture.
All right, Mr. Jerry. Rosemary, as we said, we have a limited time here. Is almost 10 o'clock. We should be shutting down at 15 minutes after 10. So roughly we have about roughly 35 to 45 minutes to be here. We want to open the phone lines. Mr. Jerry has spoken about the issue of his take on diaspora Liberians voting is that yes, they should be given the right to vote. But my last question to you, Mr. Jerry, before we go, if diaspora Liberians are given the right to vote, shouldn't there also be that limitation of what offices can be held by Liberians with dual citizenship? If you're giving a person the right to vote now, are you still? Should there still be a limitation on whether a Liberian with dual citizen can be a president, representative, senator, or any of the offices mentioned, or we should move that late?
No, it shouldn't be. Listen, let me just say this, and probably people are not really. If I had the opportunity to appear before the Senate or the representatives to discuss this matter, I would make it like an ABC. I will discuss it like I read it down down Wallace. My man, you think I come to America, I want to be citizen? But you know why anybody would want to be citizen in America here? There are certain kind of job you can't do unless you are citizen. Certain kind of job. There are privileges that you're supposed to have when you're a green card holder. Now, what happened here? Look at Donald Trump time. Green card holder not even safe. You get green. Those of us who I got my document in my phone here. So when they catch me, I show my document there. People came here for a reason. I came to America for 3 reasons. Only 3 reasons. I came to America to write my books. I wrote the 2 books in 3 months. I came to America to get my American education. I get American education. I came to America to get money to do business in Liberia. I've done that. I don't care whatever in America. I don't get time for it. So if it costs me, before I can achieve that, if I have to be a U.S. citizen to expedite the process, become a U.S. citizen. There are other people here who in fact, most people come to America for experience it. And the very people who are against Liberians who are dual citizens taking presidential position in Liberia are the very people, when they come to America, they will be the first to become citizens. There's a friend of mine who used to say, oh, my man, I think you're doing a U.S. citizen, but I don't want to be U.S. citizen. You are here. He spent almost 7 years. He went to Liberia, came back, go Liberia. And then one day, he told me at the airport in Brussels, the airplane tire blew. It went off. He said they brought the Belgian security. They went there. They were asking, American, you're American, they take you. They took all the Americans from a month there, carried them to a place to protect them, and left the green card people in the open. When he came and said, my man, I'm going to do my citizenship. I did my citizenship. Now he's citizen. So why is he citizen? Is he citizen because he want to be citizen? No, he's citizen because there are certain privileges you get as a U.S. citizen. And people know that. And I encourage all Liberians, you come to America, become citizen. You go to Liberia. I'm telling you today, you go to Liberia, and the people start fighting war on Broad Street. And you better live in America 20 years, 30 years, you need green card holder. They will have to take all their citizens before the green card people, they take care of them. In fact, when you outstay your green card, when you spend 1 year in Liberia without coming to America, your green card is automatically perceived to be canceled. But you can be citizen, you go to Liberia, you can stay as long as you want to stay, and you don't have problem. So stopping Liberians from being president or representative or senator, how is it helping the system? We build businesses, we do other things. People got a lot of projects going on. You allow them to build businesses, they employ people, they build houses, they build hotels, they do all of these things. You allow, like Liberians in America, they are really doing good. But the main contest, no, you are a U.S. citizen, the other joy is not for you. That's the selfish way to do it. Yes.
So what will be a presentation, Mr. Jerry? What will be a presentation? Because the question is, should the lid be taken off? The restrictions be taken off?
The restrictions should be off. In fact, any citizen you want to contest, when they try to stop you, file a petition to the Supreme Court. You will win that case. Because there's a
there's the argument that if you have a dual citizenship and you commit an act in Liberia, you can easily go back to your country where you have the other citizenship and be protected. Liberia doesn't have a very strong extradition law to bring you back. Even if we have treaties with other countries, to get people back to Liberia takes a whole lot of time. So they feel that if you are only a Liberian, they can work the legal process in getting you back. What's your take on that? Those who feel that.
First of all, the people who are saying that they ain't no American system. You're not American citizen. You're not even living in America before. Something happened, you run away, come to America. America will never turn you over to Liberia. They don't trust the American system, the brain system. They will never turn you over. Today we have chartered a war because of the same reason. It was not that Taylor was a U.S. citizen. The U.S. government said they don't trust that Liberian Samuel Doe can handle the case impartially. There are several people who ran away and came to America. Vanilla Patrick, the mega asylum. You all know how you got asylum? I want to tell you before they say that me the one can tell my friend the thing. I can say that meet 10 of them that got asylum out of Liberia that in America today. Who wanted to kill Vanilla Patrick? In America, and you went to America and got all 18 and go back. Some people come. You can come here, government of Liberia. I don't care. You, Damo Renner. Something happened in Liberia. You run away, come to America. The Liberian government said that all citizens. The U.S. government know you're not citizen of U.S. They will not turn you over. So they might not even think about that. It's a waste of time because they don't trust the judicial system. They don't trust the process, and that's why it's very difficult. Only Liberia, when you are a U.S. citizen, you are in Liberia, you are a Liberian citizen, and you commit crime against America. They get a 1972 treaty, extradition treaty with Liberia in the United States. They will take you one American here. a broke government will send you here. Because they're not able to say no. And they trust the U.S. system. Like broke government.
So that reason is not valid.
You come to America will never turn you over. They don't trust.
So that reason is not. So that reason is not valid.
It's not valid. It's not a valid point. Because even if I'm citizen, I'm not citizen. U.S. government will not turn me over. So what's the basis? What's the basis of using it as a reason for denying me?
Okay.
It doesn't valid. It doesn't work at all. I can tell you for sure. Yeah.
And you wanna go to the phone lines quickly so that we can wrap it up. Guys are already buzzing my phones. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We definitely can. So you can put in your calls now to make your contribution on the show. 0555 101075 0777 You can put in your calls now to make your contribution on the show. Let's take our first caller. Good evening, Yanime. Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Brother Diamond. Good evening. This is Brother G. Lahasin. We're calling from PZ Ibitabo.
Okay, let's hear you.
Just married. You talk about clubbing, around one era and making note. I think Diamond hit the midpoint. The Zuni law. There was a Zuni Act of Moravia that were acted, I think, since 1890. And that act had been transformed to Zuni, the Zuni administration of Liberia, the Zuni Act of Liberia, and it's about to be passed. I think if that Zuni Act is passed, regulating where you have residential area, commercial area, industrial area. If you look at looking down, that's how was the industrial area before, but it now turned to a residential area and commercial area. So that I think it will have the regulation be put in place. I mean, let's be frank. You have four, like the nightclub talking about over there. You have 4 or 5 nightclubs that what they want to listen to music. They're not saying listen to the music. But if you place it, you want to listen to music, go to music. Like going to the market, you want to buy, you go to the market. If you don't want to listen to noise, you stay home. So if you have those kind of activities in place, according to the Zuni law or the Zuni Act of Liberia has been in process now, you have no problem. Where you have churches in one area or nightclubs in one area, I mean, definitely there will be no problem.
Okay.
So that I think with the club being costed in one area, then I make the noise. If I want, I go to the club. But residential area where you having nightclubs or even a church, possibly can allow that. I think that will be a further. So that pray that the Zuni Act of Liberia is being passed and will be implemented.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, Yanime. Where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Eric Smith, and I call from Nicholson.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, this country, one of the things very facing is no one want to be perfect. What these people say, enter America, and then because of hardship when you think about it in Liberia, you enter in the United States, you don't want to go back in your country. So I think the American government had to look at that and really work on it in the interest of the foreign people because we get our independence from them. So if you have some ways by all means to consider us to live in that area peacefully.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let's go to this caller. Good evening, Yanime. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello.
Good evening, Yanime. Where are you calling from?
Good evening. Thank you very much for your bringing point in the evening. I appreciate you for a lot. But when I hear my senior brother on the show talking about if you check to where he lives, there are no more than 20% that want to vote for Kota Numa Bata. Want to explain Numa Bata what he's doing. These are the things I agree with him sometimes in a certain way. Whenever we get to the Southeast, they always like their own. Because whenever somebody come to their side, they will always want whether they on the level track or they qualify for that position or they not qualify. They will always with their own. So when you say whatever you air or they grant them, They are now more than 20. So I will be able to excel with you. These are the things that sometimes are making the conversation in Liberia. And we all, to the other side, to try to be clever now. We all have clever people. We have people that we all can accept the nation. So we'll always defend our own now. If you want to say that way now, the Southeasterner and the Northerner and the Westerner, we all will always push our own. Any election come now, we'll fight our own. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to this caller. Good evening. Your name and where are you calling from?
How you doing? My name is Mahmoud. I'm calling from Bismarck, North Dakota.
Okay, let's hear you, Mahmoud.
Yeah, I'm following your show from the beginning to now. I'm interested in this diaspora voting right.
Yeah, let's hear you.
There are two things you got straight, and I listed them, 3 of them, but I want to speak here on this. It's not a hard thing to let the Liberians in the diaspora to vote, most especially in America. This country we find ourselves in America is highly institutionalized. If the Liberian government can institutionalize the voting privileges in the various communities where the Liberians live, they know one another. There are institutions here that call Liberian community that streamline the activities of Liberians. They monitor, they have vocation, the independent days, they meet, and they know their citizens. And these institutions, the communities are known by the state government. They are known and legalized by the state government, the Secretary of State. It's not a big thing. It's just that our government finds everything difficult to do. You don't have to go to any MRC. You can use the communities that are registered in the state, and they can use them, and them organizing so people can participate in their election. It is your right. Separation from home should not be a reason to deny them because you say it's going to be hard, they're going to cheat. They're not going to cheat. But first of all, we always like to look at things negatively before we look at it. They're not going to cheat. So I will urge the government to, it's not late, 1 year to solve this problem because America has an institution that controls activities in this country. It's not like Liberia where you can Johnson, no. So it's easier here than you think in Liberia. So it's not difficult. They're not going to travel it. They're going to institutionalize it. So that is one of the things that the Liberian government need to understand. And that is some moving this thing that you cannot be president. Those laws were made to satisfy selfish people.
All right, Mahmoud. Thank you very much.
Liberians are doing in Liberia. We have to be very careful when we make laws.
Okay, thank you very much. We have all other callers to take. Okay, so we'd like to welcome Connor Gray. You literally joined the show at a very late time. You know, today is Saturday. We have a very short program. We are going to be ending the live at 10:15. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about the zoning laws when it comes to noise pollution in the zoning areas in Liberia. We talked about the diaspora Liberians as well, if they can be allowed to vote. And we talked about pedestrians being fined for not using the crosswalks. Those are the things that we have talked about tonight, and we are taking phone calls now to hear the views of the Liberian people till we can say bye-bye at 10:15. Let's take this caller.
Yeah, how are you, man?
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, man, this is Adam Akan and Joseph Wagai, son Joseph Wagai speaking.
Okay, let's hear you.
Man, I'm talking point go this. Man, the government will support the government and the government president will succeed. But I don't want to tell Paku, you don't come after me on the radio show. Paku, we all vote for the government to succeed, and the government will succeed. But if some people in this government, me and speak to power, Paku, don't come after me. When I tell you because of the government, I can do that in a plan. So nobody can come and threat me. You again happen to you. They say we don't want to bring hardship. People can fall off. Say we don't want to have this, some people can flex off. Then you must say, later, 8 o'clock, can go outside. So when the government did mistake, Paku are talking about they coming after me.
Hey, he takes me to this citizen country, I resign. Like, you put me in the United Party before I resign. But go, I beg you. When you get in something with the government, don't go after me. Me, I'm a United Partisan. Advocate, take my minister than me. I'm not talking. Hey, I voted in government. I'm not saying my job. Well, all the time calling for empowerment for college. When see more people like me and get more I didn't know my so calling talk. But when I call more I didn't answer my call.
What is your point?
After me because they give me something. I will stop that.
What is your point?
Don't do that thing to me. Please don't do it. Thank you very much.
I am confused. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's okay. Tell us what say you on the topics of tonight?
Yeah, my name is on the back of Congotan Baru.
All right, let's hear you.
Okay, you see, the country here, where I'll go. Moreover, that man who always come on our show with travel politics, we get time for himself. He like I say, must tell all the grandchildren, the man I'm for Paka. That Paka, at the quarry, bringing good government in the country that no one believe. The man in the corruption. Me, I'm from Grand Pastor. Papa, the man record, I recently and for that man. And even call in Grand Pastor, my people voted for him. So he be talking about like a child business that he's business. We care for him, say he live with him. You're the Grandian vote for different person will vote for Paka and Paka will become president. You're watching again. So pray for him for long life. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go to the comment section. Kitade Tabagi says, for Liberians to participate in the voting process, it's going to be transparent. We don't have country devils in America to take away our ballot boxes. That's a good one. Our contributions in the country is more than the country national budget. I'm not talking about their $1.2 million so-called budget. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Good evening. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, good evening again, Rosemary. Name is Pampaklo Ashawa Boson, and I'm joining you again from 540.
Okay, let's hear you.
So thank you all so much for those topics on the discussion. They are all good and healthy for our country as they pertain to issues of growth and development. So my concern has been drawn to two things that you have discussed tonight. The first one has to do with the diaspora Liberians' participation when it comes to our electoral process. So it will have to do with a lot of things. The internet has to play a major role when it comes to that participation that they want to do. But Liberia here, looking at our own level of inconsistency and the fluctuation within the current system, if they would like to participate in our voting process, then it means that a lot of mechanisms will have to be put in place, including the stability of electricity, because I'm very sure that for their votes to translate into number that will reflect into their various political areas or databases, it will have to do with electronic mails, and which will require a good level of consistency in the current. So it has to do a lot of things to do with that. Like you talk about the honesty issue. Liberians are noted for being dishonest these days with the influx of a lot of different nationals. So integrity issue too matters a lot.
Okay.
So the second thing that I want to talk about, to just grab the line quickly, it has to do with this road safety with pedestrians and taxi drivers and other vehicles. I am a direct victim of crossing the road, especially at a point in time during the 540 crosswalk there. We were like 8 persons that engaged the crosswalk. And then the taxi that was on the middle lane yielded to us pedestrians to cross. Unlike the guy who was on the first lane, he drove so recklessly that he intentionally wanted to have knocked one of us down. So when he passed with his car, I banged the car on the bucket. So he slowed down, and then
After we crossed, he told one of the police officers that were on the road to arrest us to go to Zone 3. So when we went to Zone 3, the police officers decided to pay more credence to the man above me because he said I banged his car while he was running with speed, attempting to run into us. So the police people, they were biased with that case, and then they told me to write statement. I told them I'm not writing any statement. Why is it that you're not charging this man for reckless driving and you're charging me for banging his car, whereas there is no mark on the car? So is that how you people being very much biased when it comes to cases in this country? So the police people too.
Okay, let's wrap up because I have to take all the other callers. All right, let's go to the next person. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from? All right, we lost that caller. Let's take somebody from our Lone Star line. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
JMB, I live private formatted.
All right, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm so happy for the topic tonight. The reason I love this government because we offer for the laboratory to be changed. The reason I work for the government, for the criminal outliers to go on in this country. This regime, there are small criminal outliers on in the country. People, criminal that used to cower attacking people for your party you get. However, they say you used to see nobody outside. You see people running, going to their houses. Before 10 o'clock, you will just see the whole street start. But now, even you go outside on the street, from Panama all the way to Red Light, you will see people on the street. In fact, the whole street is bright. You will be far or you see someone coming on the street. So nobody, and people working with their big phone, and nobody can handle them, nothing. So for that, like we are living, I will be 2029, I'll be voting this government to re-vote them back. And what I talk about our brother in America, if you know that you want Kanye to run as a representative or other senator, I want for government to give them a chance. Like if the time within, if you can, you may about 1 year with us. Then you want to run for that particular position, you will run because this country, our country, even people that are in America, that they put in the both family down here and they're being doing about laboratory system. So I want for the government to help us in that way that anybody that want to run in position here, let them come and be about 1 year with us so they can know the problem that we're facing in this country. So when they rule up, they'll be able to know what we're talking about for with the common people to be benefit in the country.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's take this caller. Good evening, your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters in Islam, and good evening to FM family, and good evening to my peace-loving people of the Republic of Liberia, and good evening to each and every one of Liberians. The name remains constant, Alfonso A.F. Kamara. Once again, I just want to make it public.
Alfonso, I beg you. You let us take over the whole time. Please be very brief.
Yeah, let me be brief. I just want to put in rest for Nan and Bochuman, Holy Ramadan observation. That is my information to my fellow Liberians and the entire Panamanic of School Network, and that of Centon, the CEO, that I will not be actively involved in the day-to-day activities of conversation in our society because of my Holy Ramadan. And it reached out to each and everyone. Thank you.
All right, Alfonso. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. So that's it. I'm not taking any more calls. So I'm going to go to Conor Gray so that I can hear his thoughts, just very briefly on all of the things that we talked about tonight. Then I go to Mr. Giroux, who is going to give me his parting comments, and then we say bye-bye. As we stated earlier, tonight is a very short program because we have to make way for one-on-one with the CEO that's going to come on tomorrow. So Conor Gray, good evening. Welcome. I think it's afternoon on your end, so good afternoon. Conor Gray? Okay, so I think we can go to Mr. Giroux. You can kindly unmute yourself and just give your parting comment.
Let me say thank you. First of all, I was actually enjoying you and Diamond, and then I have to come in. And I just want to say shout out to all the Muslim people, you know, that are observing the Ramadan. You know, 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, they wake up, they eat very good. And then the whole day they stay hungry. And in the evening, then they break their fast again. That's a good practice. I'm not a Muslim person, so I don't know how it looks like. So, but I really appreciate the fact that they are observing their holy month. And to just end on this, I think I got to be emphatic here that there's no need to stop any Liberians to put a condition on what they can do and what they can do in Liberia, because everything we do here, we don't have. And look, Rose, I had my house here. I sold my house, took the money and go to Liberia to build something. Tell me, why will I sell my house here when I want to stay here? Sold my house, took the money, take my equity, and went to Liberia and built something very decent there. Other people selling their properties and leaving and going to Liberia. If they don't have interest in Liberia, why will I even bother to sell my house? Why will I even bother? But I'm successful in America. Why would I even bother to go to America? I'm in Liberia. That tells you that we got Liberia at heart. That's where our neighbor string is buried. We got all our connection, our love, our concerns, our intention to help, to build something, to do some more. We're coming to America. Yeah, I think gonna agree and say it's the same thing. When I come to America, I say, I'm gonna work 2-3 jobs and come back here and do something. I work 2-3 jobs, go by the same man. If you're a citizen, then you can't be anything here again. It doesn't make sense to me. They should remove all the conditions. And those of us in the diaspora that want to participate in the voting process, it is not just sufficient for us to ask for it. Let's provide ideas of how this can be implemented to give the government something to chew on, to deal with. And those of you who are taxi drivers, who are drivers in Monrovia, I think the police need to be more organized. That telling Benny, I don't know, every time I talk about police, that I tell him Benny can carry my mouth first. Let them make sure there's no telling. Somebody almost killed me one time for telling business. You know, and yes. And they oh man, it's just so bad. But I want to say thank you very much. And we don't have a lot of time. And Greg, can you hear me now? You are muted. I'll leave you a Rosemary. When I come, I will want you to carry me to that underground. Let me see how it's looking, and then maybe I can make it my home.
Most definitely. It's just right there.
All expenses will be on me. So you. Okay. Thank you very much, Rosemary.
It was great having you. Colonel Gray, are you having an issue hearing me? Okay, I think he is. Well, folks, this is all the time I have for you. Okay, so this is all the time I have for you tonight. Is going to, as I stated, a very short night. We did not have the CEO and his host of panelists on the show. We just had a very quiet and subtle night. I had Diamond Slinger here with me, and then we were later joined by Mr. Giroux. And we were just here talking, talking about the zoning areas in Liberia, most especially something about noise pollution. The noise pollution in Liberia. You know what? We have clubs clustered up together. We have churches, having services at odd hours of the morning or the night. We also talked about diaspora Liberians being allowed to participate in our electoral processes. And we talked about pedestrians being fined for jaywalking, as the people in America can call it, but for not using the crosswalk. to cross the roads. And I felt like, I feel like we need more road education here in Liberia. Before we can enforce the fines, we need to educate our people, Muslims, and immensely on road education. There are a lot of people who do not even know how to cross roads. They do not know which side of the road to walk on when they're going in a specific direction. They do not know the meanings of a lot of road safety signs along the road. So we need a couple of road education to be carried out in Liberia whilst the finding is going on. But yeah, that's all the time I have for you. Don't forget, one-on-one with the CEOs come on tomorrow with the CEO, Mr. Stanton Witherspoon. So do join us tomorrow. The name remains the same. I'm Rosemary McKeever. I'm gonna be here on Wednesday. So definitely join the conversation tomorrow and all other conversations to come. Do have yourselves a wonderful night. Do have yourselves a wonderful day. Most especially to our people in the diaspora. We're gonna be here again tomorrow. So do join us. Bye-bye from my end.